Brazil, the world's fifth largest country, is a diverse nation, rich in natural beauty and a cultural melting pot, home to more than 200 million people, all undergoing change in a shifting political landscape. And when Formula One makes its annual pilgrimage to gigantic metropolis São Paulo, the memory of the late great three-time world champion Ayrton Senna is ever present. Arguably the greatest Grand Prix driver of all time, Senna melded pure passion with sublime natural talent, a rare combination that enabled him to get to the limit on track and to the top of the sport. While off-track, Senna was adored, especially in Brazil, where he was a beacon of hope and a tireless champion, supporting education for young people with his foundation.
Nobody is ever going to replace him. He was a star who always brought us joy for the whole nation. He never brought sadness to anyone. He always brought us joy.
Senna's last season was with Williams in 1994, but died in just his third race for the team after sustaining head injuries at the San Marino Grand Prix. Of course, the Brazilian was a childhood idol for many on the current grid, including Lewis Hamilton, who heads to Interlagos as a five-time F1 world champion, matching Juan Manuel Fangio.
I just loved what he did, as firstly how he drove, but how he was as a human being, because he made a big difference in how he inspired the people in Brazil.
Brazilians have also been inspired by thrilling racing over 45 editions, with the event first joining the F1 calendar in 1973. All but 10 have been hosted at São Paulo's Autodromo José Carlos Pache, better known as Interlagos. The remainder at Rio de Janeiro's Autodromo Internacional Nelson Piquet or Jacarapagua. Interlagos, which translates to between the lakes, is a stunning track that always promotes great racing, and it's a challenge for the drivers. Located 30 minutes from downtown São Paulo, the 4.309-kilometer track has 15 turns, 10 left and 5 right, and a top speed of 340 kilometers an hour. Max Verstappen reset the lap record last year for Red Bull Racing. There are 2 DRS Activation Zones, with the first between turns 3 and 4, the other on the pit straight. There are also 2 DRS Detection Zones, one before turn 2, the other after turn 13. And it's a tricky track, especially in the wet, with 2003's edition perilous, with only 10 cars finishing, and Giancarlo Fisichella taking a shock win. 2016 was another sodden race, and Max Verstappen shone. He made up 11 places in the last 16 laps to finish third, behind the 2 Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton taking his only win in Brazil to date. The most successful driver in Brazil is Alain Prost, but 5 of his 6 wins were taken in Rio. Michael Schumacher has the most wins at Interlagos, with Sebastian Vettel the most of the current grid with 3. It'll be gloves off for the German this year. With the world title battle done, Vettel will be pushing hard to build momentum ahead of a stronger 2019 campaign and expected rematch with Mercedes. It's a thrilling proposition, especially with Red Bull Racing also a likely contender should the strategy and conditions work in its favor. High speed, high energy, all to the beat of the samba. It's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. TheInsideLine.com for everything Formula One.